Hello outdoor enthusiasts, I hope everyone is having a great day. So today we're going to look at this Ozark Trail SUV tent. It's a 5-person SUV dome tent 9x9, and of course prices change all the time, but I did pick this up this month, which is July 2024, at walmart.com for $124. Okay, so straight out of the package, this is what we have here. I'm gonna go ahead and see what we can do. All right, got everything out of the packaging. I guess we got some poles here. I don't think I saw the instructions. Yeah, so no instructions really, just some warnings. So let's go ahead and try to do this. It should be pretty straightforward though. Rain fly, I'm assuming. I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised I don't see any directions. Even when it's straightforward, it's always good to still have directions. Can't say I like that. It's large. Bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I'm just trying to orient this first. I can see that this is the tunnel that goes over the car. Yeah, really would have been nice to have some instructions. But let's start getting these poles out. This one doesn't have any poles attached at all, like some of the tents do. Okay. So, essentially, you can see where the poles go. So far it's not rocket science. Pretty easy to see where the poles go here. And so what I'm going to do is simply thread those through. Where it makes sense. Okay, this is long, my goodness. Alright, so I'm just going to start threading these poles through, guys. I'm really not sure what else there is to do. And then there's a hub here. Let me make sure y'all can see what's going on. Let me turn this a little bit. Okay, yeah, so I'm just threading the poles through, and let me see if I can find one of the hubs. There's a little hub here, so obviously the pole's going to connect there. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing that right now. Definitely would be easier if we had one other person, but I don't. I'm just gonna have to lay it down to get this in here for now until I get the second pole through here. I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other pole. Why I prefer the tents that already have the poles attached. It can just be real annoying trying to thread the poles through these little fabric tunnels, especially when you're by yourself. Pain in the butt. Getting there slowly but surely. I think I'm going to try to anchor that one end at least so I'm not struggling against it. That'll hold for a second. Okay, got that in that hub. So now I just got to get this side here to do what it needs to do. Alright, that didn't go as smooth as I had hoped, but it is what it is. Let's get that right there. And let's try to get this straightened out if we can. Okay, starting to look somewhat normal, I think. All right, so let's go ahead and now we're going to attach the poles. Let me make sure we're still recording before I keep going. Yep, okay, good. We're simply going to clasp these clamps here onto the pole. That's what I'm doing all the way down. So I'm gonna set this back down. Let's do that. Okay guys, so we have the basic shell together there. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and try to get this rain fly on. That's always the hardest part, especially when you're alone. But here we go. Well guys, the GoPro overheated and cut off, as they love to do. But anyway, as you can see, I did get the rain fly on. I still have a little bit more work to do, but let me show you what I've done thus far. Essentially, I just made sure I laid the rain fly out in the proper orientation, and then I simply threw it over the tent. That's really the best way to do it. And I was able to figure out the orientation simply by looking for, yeah, right there, the Ozark Trail label there. Usually that always goes towards the front, of course, and of course I knew that the front porch area was white. So anyway, got the orientation right, threw it over there, clasped one end, and then from there you can just go around and clasp the other ends. Anyway, what I've done here is there's 3 poles essentially. The 2 black poles that I use for the main frame, which go through the fabric tunnels like an X, okay, which we already did. And then there's this white pole here, which simply threads through this fabric channel to support the awning here. It just goes all the way through, and then you anchor the poles there, just like we did for the other poles. And this fabric for the awning has a little loop. You just loop it right there on this little tab. You probably can't see it, but there's a little tab there. And you do that on both ends, of course. And I'm probably not going to stake these flaps down right now, but of course that's what you would do. You would stake those down. And what I'm going to work on now is trying to figure out how to connect this to the back of the vehicle. So that's my next project, and it probably would have helped if I parked better. But let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and start by unzipping this flap here. And this flap here is so that if you leave the tent during the day and it's just freestanding, you can close this flap down. So, you know, at that point it's just like any other freestanding tent. And it zips, and there's also some Velcro to help it stay secured. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw that out of the way for now. And here's our tunnel. And I guess I simply start draping it over the vehicle here. So what I'm realizing right away is that depending on the vehicle that you're in, this may not be ideal. So I don't have a roof rack or anything on this vehicle. So as far as connecting it to the top, I really don't have a means to do so. So yeah, so I guess the thing is just do your best to connect it to the best of your ability. Yeah, so, I feel like there should be more clasp or something. So I've got this here. And I mean, I'm assuming if I had a roof rack, I could thread it through there. But right now, I just got it cinched tight. On the underside, again, I'm sure there's a better way to do this. And if you guys know, then please comment and let me know. I'm trying to figure this out too. I guess that's sufficient. I have it hooked here. Now, I believe some people actually do go ahead and hook it through the rim as well. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm just setting this up. I'm not actually camping in it. I actually just got back from a camping trip and reviewed the tent that I used for that camping trip. That video should actually be up now. But anyway, same here. Okay. So essentially, depending on your vehicle, you're just going to have to play with it and find the best way to connect. So what I'm going to do for now is come through here. And get this hatch opened up and just kind of see how that's going to look. Hopefully you can see this. There is a nice mesh screen here as well. Just gonna open that all the way up, or mostly all the way up. And let's go ahead and open this hatch. Oh wow. May not be able to, guys. This is actually not my personal vehicle. My personal vehicle is in the shop. So I rented this one because I did not want to cancel my my camping trip. But it seems like the clearance isn't good. So the door, the automatic door, is wanting to close. Because there's just not a whole lot of clearance. I think part of it might be the fact that I'm not backed in all the way. I think if I were, I'd have more room here for this to open up better. So yeah, I think actually that's the issue, guys. So in theory, you shouldn't have a problem as long as you are backed all the way up so that this is much closer. That's what I surmise. But anyway, I'm going to leave it as it is for now. We're just going to continue here. It's got this little area here with a zipper. Matter of fact, let me see. Maybe if I unzip this, I'll get a little, let me set this down. I'll get a little bit more stretch. Zipper snagged here. Yeah, so maybe that'll open that up a little bit more. Get a little bit more wiggle room. So let's see if I can come up a little higher. Okay guys, look. I think we solved the issue. There we go. And that's why I do these videos, so we can work out the kinks. So if you're having difficulty with having enough stretch and room, what you can do is undo this zipper here, okay? That gives you some more wiggle room, which allowed that door to open all the way up. Great. So now let's go ahead and get a good look at this thing here. Let me go ahead and back up. All right, let's go ahead and start by once again getting the full view here. And just remember, I don't have the awning staked down right now. Let's come on this side. It's pretty large. It looks bigger than 9x9 to me. It's huge. All right, some of the features here. It's got a little mud flap there. It does have the little electrical cord port, which is always nice. And of course, this door here, I already unzipped it earlier, but it's got the screen there as well. The floor feels nice and thick, like really, really thick. Of course, all this here is mesh. So when the rain fly is off, you have tons of room here, tons of room. I'll get another video with the rain fly off once I get ready to take this down. So we've got a little bit of storage there. And another little storage pouch there. The footprint is actually a little bit wider, but since everything's not staked, you know, it's not stretched all the way out. One of the things that I like, again, is it has the bucket floors, where the floor comes up the side wall a bit, and that looks like it's sealed well. That's always great for helping to keep water out. I can't overstate how thick that floor really feels. Probably one of the thickest I've felt. But that's really it for that, guys. Looks like there would be a good amount of space. What I would do is, of course, that'd be my sleeping area there. And then what I would do is just make this my little living area. So during the day, I can have standing room, etc. And at night, of course, I would sleep there. And what I would probably do personally is, because what I notice is this tent does not have an AC port, guys. And I'm really, really big on that. So when I do my first camping trip with this, I'll do another video and let you guys know how it works out. But let me tell you what my thoughts are. I'm thinking I'm going to actually, right here on the floor, I think I'm actually going to put the air conditioner on the ground, right underneath the bumper there, so that it outlets here. I'll have to find a way to press this down some, and that way the air is blowing out here, and then I'll have a fan somewhere in that corner to help blow the air back towards this area. I don't know if it's gonna work, guys. This is just my thought right now. But again, once I attempt that, I will make another video and show you guys. That way you can see if it works or if it doesn't. And again, if you have suggestions, if you've done the air conditioner with this type of tent, leave me a comment, let me know. That helps. Us fellow campers out here, we got to help each other out. Although I really like the space of this one, I love the awning. I mean, I think it'd be great to sit up under here and have the shade. It really extends the living space. It took me way too long to put this together. I don't like that. I prefer something that sets up a bit faster. I feel like it took me over 20 minutes to put this together. And that's not even with me trying to connect. Well, you guessed it, the GoPro cut off again. On that note, if you guys know of an action camera that doesn't cut off every 5 minutes, please let me know. And please don't say the Insta360. I do have one, and honestly, I'm not crazy about it, and it kind of does the same thing. Anyway, let's keep going. I did go ahead and remove the rain fly, as you can see. So, yeah, this is what it's like without the rain fly. which I would probably never use it like this because without the rain fly you have no awning, which I do like that awning. So before this thing cut off on me again, what I was saying was that although I do like the size and everything, I probably won't use this one a whole lot. I just don't want the very, very long setup. It's not complicated. It's just that it's difficult to thread these poles through these little fabric channels. It's just time consuming, especially when you're alone. So I do prefer tents, even if they're not instant tents, at least tents that are already, you know, have the poles connected. That just makes life so much easier. Also, it did come with some little accessories. This is some sort of hanging storage pouch, I guess. And then of course it comes with the little horrible cheap tent spikes they always like to include. I never use these, I always get better ones. And some guide ropes there. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope you guys enjoyed the video today and your time outdoors with me. If so, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. That way you can join me on my next adventure. But until then, be good to yourself and do something that makes you happy today.